Welcome back.
Oh.
we're back again. Clearly, we're not pros at this. We are not influencers in any way, shape, or form. I can't even influence him to do half the things I want him to do.
Me neither, with her.
So we're not influencers, but we just had a lot of people ask us questions about our move and everything else. So one thing we have, of course, had to bring our cat with us. So we're going to talk about prepping this time and what it takes to prepare not just an animal, but also ourselves. Because it's not just as simple as, hey, let's just throw a few things in a suitcase and go.
And even though this is, for us, it's specifically to Latvia, a lot of the things that we're going to be talking about would apply to a lot of different regions.
Exactly. So we will start with prepping your animal. So we have a cat.
A beautiful cat.
Yes. And we kind of prepared for traveling with an animal because last couple years ago when we were here in the summer, we went to go visit Aaron's friend Anya in Sweden. And I said, hey, Anya, hey, Aaron, you should ask Anya if there's anything she'd like from Latvia. So he said, hey, he texted her, hey, do you want something from Latvia?
Yeah, she lived here for most of her life, and then as an adult, she moved to Sweden, and she is a teacher there. And so my thinking is that there's a special candy or a bread or something that she really wanted. So of course, for us to, it's not that hard to throw something extra in our suitcase and fly it out to her.
So her response was a cat. I said, I that's a weird ask. So did she butt dial or what? And so then she explained that she was working with a nonprofit here in Riga that helps to rehome stray cats. So she had adopted one, but she had to get it to Sweden. And we're not talking just over to Stockholm. It was planes, trains, and automobiles to get there. It's way up north.
No kidding.
A little town called Biski.
Maybe not the train, but it was everything else. All other modes of travel.
No, we did take the train.
We did?
Oh, no, we took a bus. That's right.
Bus,
okay.
Yeah.
So anyways, so then she said, oh, and also this kind of bread. And she sends us a picture. So we go all over outside of Riga. We're in Saukrasti. We're going to little fairs. We're going all over. We couldn't find this bread, or we found it, but just as we got to the front of the line, they just sold the last loaf, kind of like the marble rye on Seinfeld. Anyway, we go to the Zeppelin hangars, which is the central market, the world's largest indoor market, by the way, 5 Zeppelin hangars.
We'll probably do a video just on that.
And so we figure they have to have it here. So we go to the bread thing, which is huge. It's a big bread counter, like it's huge. And the loaves are very, very heavy because the Latvian bread is very famous for being very heavy, and basically you can kill someone with just a loaf of bread for real. Anyway, so they couldn't do one loaf of the type she wanted. It was either one or the other. So Aaron said, let's do 2 loaves of each. And I said, hold up, how heavy is a loaf? And they said it's 2 kilos. And we'd already had 1 loaf also. So basically we went to Sweden with a cat and about 20 pounds of bread. It was a lot of bread. So anyway, that was our quick story. I guess it wasn't that quick, sorry.
No, I think it's important. I mean, that gave us, in fact, that experience, we knew that we were going to have to bring a cat anyway. And so we were we were sort of shocked at the ask, but at the same time, we felt like it would be good practice for ourselves to bring a cat.
Yeah. So anyway, going back to prepping to bring an animal, especially a cat. So we researched different types of cat carriers because you can take a cat in the cabin of the plane as one of your carry-ons, but it has to, of course, fit under the seat. Now, domestically, it has to be vented on 3 sides, but internationally, it's 4 sides. So, but the problem with Amazon is you can't always see all the sides at once, so it's really hard to tell. So after I think I sent back 3 or 4 of them, we finally got one that worked. So Erin's going to show you quickly our cat carrier. You can see that it's vented two sides there, two sides there, and the top.
This side,
and the top.
and the top.
Yep. So it's perfect. She did pretty good. And there's a tether inside that you can attach her leash to or her collar so that she can't get out and around. So we did that. We have to make sure, yeah, so there's the tether there. So that was really important, and also making sure we got everything. So we actually took this to the airport, to the Delta desk, and said, will this suffice? Because I've heard of too many people getting turned back with their animal, and their animal couldn't go, and we did not want to do that. She's our baby.
We did not want any surprises.
So they said it was fine, but then they said we needed another document, but our vet said no, just this international health certificate. So we were crossing our fingers. Luckily, that was sufficient. We were totally fine with that. So make sure you get that international health certificate within, some sites said like within 5 days. Some said within 3 days, depending on where you're going. It can't be dated prior to that. So you really want to make sure you have that in hand before you go, and with enough days in there. Again, your rabies shot, though, does have to be 21 days, I think, before your trip.
So the chip has to be before, then the rabies shot, and then the vaccinations. We also, the rabies shot has to be done 21 days before departure. And everything has to be under one person's name.
Yeah. So
the person who's carrying her.
Yeah. So the chip, everything was done. So that is really important when you're going to prep for your animal, making sure you get all those shots, and you look up what the country as well as the airline require. So that's really, really important.
We were told that Great Britain is especially difficult. So if you're planning on going there, you're really going to have to do some extra research to find out all the ins and outs for that.
Well, just like Australia and Hawaii also are really, really stringent. So, but prepping to move ourselves, one thing that we first had to do, of course, was to find a place temporarily to stay while we started looking for a place. So we booked an Airbnb, and
For 3 months.
Yeah, for 3 months, and it's about like €900 a month for a small 1-bedroom cozy. And it is cozy. We have definitely been feeling cozy. So, but what's great is it's much easier to clean when you have a small space.
It's surprisingly easy to clean. That is true.
Unlike our large home, so this is better. One thing that we did also do to prep moving, we did have a goodbye party. And in that, we actually gave away a lot of stuff because we wanted to get rid of a lot of the perishable foods that we had. So we had some definitely willing takers. So that's great. We ended up emptying out our downstairs fridge and freezers completely, thawed them out, turned them off.
Unplug them.
Yes, make sure they're unplugged. And we also had everything else set up so that we had minimal bills while we're gone. So that was another thing we did. But one thing that we weren't prepared for were the heavy emotions. I mean, you're really excited about like, hey, this is going to be cool. We're on a new adventure.
You're opening a new chapter in your life.
Exactly. But then suddenly I was like, Erin, you're going to be patient with me the next couple of weeks because I'm having feelings. He goes, well, what does that mean? I'm like, I can't describe it. I'm just having feelings, all these different feelings. Well, the day after our party, which actually my really cool friend Mare, she flew out from Massachusetts to come to our party, which was kind of cool. But the day after, Erin suddenly was, I'm having feelings. So, yeah, it's going to happen. So that is something to kind of prepare yourself for, understand it, you know, because we are empty nesters, but we do, you know, our kids came to visit, and as even though they're adults and they're living their own lives and we don't see them every day, it's kind of weird not having them right there.
Well, they had the feels as well. And even though we don't see them all the time anyway, because they are our adult children, the fact that we're over 5,000 miles away was a little unsettling for them.
But so don't worry,
just getting used to it.
We've annoyed them every day. No, I'm just kidding. So that's basically this video, was just kind of prepping for the move. And if there's, of course, any questions, feel free to ask. We're happy to address those. So that's all for today. I think next time we're going to be talking about what the travel day was like.
Yep. Hope you enjoyed the video.
Yeah.
And we will see you in the next one.